To expedite things while we're waiting for Coach Izzo, we're going to go ahead with questions for our student athletes. So if you have a question, please raise your hand. Give your name, affiliation. Questions for our student athletes. Front row, left side.
Cassius, Jim Comparoni, SpartanMag.com. Congratulations on the victory. Take me through the second half. What happened at halftime? How did you guys get it going? I know team rebounding was a lot better in the second half. I imagine that was a point of emphasis. Can you talk about the anxiety that you guys may have felt as you hit the gas pedal?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Just, the first game is always tough. Just, you got to get used to the atmosphere, the arena, things like that. So first half, that was a really good team also. They were solid in a lot of areas. So second half, we just kind of prided ourselves on dominating the games and, what we do best, and that's rebounding, getting stops. And, if we do those things, we were going to come out on top.
Other questions for our student athletes, please raise your hand. Go back, front row, left side.
Me?
Go ahead,
okay.
Yeah.
Jim Comparoni again. Hey, Matt, you had a big three-pointer coming out of a timeout late in the game. It kind of helped give you guys a little separation. What was the thought process there, and did you visualize that during the timeout that you were going to deliver that? Take me through that scenario.
Yeah, Coach just saw something throughout the game, and he just called it in the huddle, and Aaron went down and pinned his man in, and I just came up and hit the shot, and Cash gave me a good pass.
Back row, left side.
Yeah, Matt, in a tight game when the other team's kind of scrapping and staying with you, but you have Cassius out there kind of leading things, controlling things. What's it mean to have a guy like that you can lean on?
Yeah, it means a lot. He does so much for this team. The way he leads and controls the game, just his passing ability and his vision, along with his scoring ability, it gets everybody on the court open, and you got to be ready for his passes.
Any other questions for our student athletes? Back to the front.
Cassius, you talked about the first game can be the toughest sometimes. So what does it feel like now you got one out of the way, and the way the other team pushed you today? Sigh of relief, or do you feel like some momentum now? What does it feel like to survive this game?
That you feel good, to it be advancing. I think Coach said in the huddle meeting at the end of the game, even after all that, we're still, one of the last 32 standing right now. So we know it's a lot that we can improve, but, that's our plan, to get better and better, each and every step of the way. And now we got a chance to get better, and that's always a good thing.
Any other questions? If not, congratulations, guys. We'll dismiss you back to your locker room. And at this time, congratulations, Coach Izzo. We'll get an opening statement on your win.
Well, these guys probably did a better job than I did. I felt like we were ready to play. I just felt like, in all honesty, Bradley played well the first half. They made shots. I didn't think we covered real well. We missed shots. Kenny Goins really struggled. I thought he had some great looks. And then we had some bizarre lineups, and, Connor and Gabe are not household names right now, and just because of foul trouble, we had to play with them. We wanted to get Nick Ward more minutes, and we got him some, but because of some defensive coverages and that, it just made it harder. He's just not quite there yet, but not all his fault, a little bit ours. He was productive, getting to the free throw line and scoring a bucket and getting 5 rebounds. So I thought, we got a little more out of him. But when we were 7-8 up, it was the first time I saw Cash just kind of collapse. The guy has been going so many minutes, and that Sunday, Thursday turnaround, I felt really he just couldn't go. And we had a turnover. They hit a 3 on a rebound, and then he kind of let his guy go right around him the way that we told him he was going. And hard to get mad at him when he's doing everything he can do for me and playing every minute in a game. And it's just the situation we're in. But I thought, in general, Bradley played better than I've seen him play this year. And that's a great tribute to Brian and his team and what they did.
Questions for Coach Izzo? Please raise your hand. Back row, left side.
Coach Julio Alceo with SportstownChicago.com. With all the adversity, how proud are you of your players to hold their composure, break away with a lead in the second half, and survive in advance? Just how important was it for the team to hold on to that composure?
Well, first of all, thank you for the question, because usually the questions are leading to, I'm kind of a tell it like it is guy, and I'm not giving my team enough credit. I know what we've been through from that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, get home, and what we've gone through, and you say it's an excuse, you don't say it, but you're damn right I'm proud of them. I really am proud of them. We're still going to grind it. We're still going to push them. We still made some mistakes. We didn't show the same mental toughness because I think the physical part of it really wore us down, and it's going to be good to get back to the hotel and really look at things. But I am proud of them. I mean, we had some guys, McQuaid and Winston, just wouldn't let us lose, and that was the two guys that talked the most in the huddles. Xavier struggled a little bit early, then came around late and rebounded the ball really well. And in all honesty, Kenny just struggled, but he too played 40 minutes in Chicago. And so, excuse, reality, whatever. I'm proud of this team until I get back to the hotel, and then it's going to be dog eat dog until Sunday and get back at it, or Saturday and get back at it.
Right side.
Brian Gillis, SB Nation. Coach, you mentioned Bradley played well, particularly in the first half. Is there anything specifically that they did a little bit better than you thought they could do?
Well, they cut so hard, and they got really good athletes. Those guards, Latour and Lundy are they drive it right. You know where they're going. There's nobody making any scouting reports there. It's simple, yet we couldn't stop them. We didn't do that. So I always felt bad for my assistants. They did a hell of a job on the report, and we didn't follow it as well. But I think some of it was, we've just had some bizarre lineups in there, and we're trying to change things because of who we think we could have in the game. And that's not a great coaching job on my part, instead of just staying with what we do and plug another person in. But trust me, there's some things we had to change. It makes it hard on Nick because we're changing in the middle. And so now, we're going to play a team that has a couple bigs. That's more of a conventional team. I think that's going to be better for us in a way because, I love the kid. Everybody loves Brown, but I thought Childs played really well today. He posted us up. He scored on us. I thought he did a very, very good job. I thought we did a decent job on Canal. And, I don't know what Brown ended up, 6 for 14, 4 for 7. Pretty good day, but a kid's a load to cover. It's very good.
Left side aisle, and then we'll come back to you in the white shirt there, sir.
Pat Borsey with the New York Times. Tom, at one point in the second half, you really got after Aaron Henry going into a timeout. I'm just wondering, we saw what he did, but I'm just wondering why that made you so angry.
You think there was one thing that would make me that angry? You don't know me very well. There was a bunch of things, and, hey, he's playing a lot of minutes too. He's tired too. But when you're a freshman now at this time of year, you don't make mental mistakes on things that when we're telling a guy which way he goes or not running back or, there were some things Aaron didn't do a very good job of. And yet, you know what? Like happened, I did get after him, and he did respond, and he did make a couple big buckets, and he did make some big free throws. But that's not good enough. This is one and done time, The my bads are out the window. If they're my bads because that team played better or that guy played better, if it's my bad because I decided to jog back instead of sprint back, then it is your bad, and you're going to hear about it. So that's what it was.
Go ahead, sir. You got a question? Okay. Front row, left side.
Hey, Tom, Jim Comparoni, SpartanMag.com. After the thing with Henry, you kind of knew you had to stick with him because you don't have much of a bench. And then the end of the game, did you call to feed the ball into him when the ball found him in the post? Did you go to him even though you challenged him because you knew you'd have to challenge him at some point? or you knew you'd have to go to him because that's who you had to play with? Tell me about the thought process going to him late.
Yeah, we challenged him, and we said if he's going to down screen, McQuaid hits the one. And we said the next time we'll slip it and we'll get it to you in the post because we figured they'd jump out of McQuaid. And it sort of happened that way. And he made a couple big plays in there, and which he's capable of doing. You know, I get a kick out of you guys. Get after somebody because you're trying to hold them accountable. I don't know what kind of business you're in, but I'll tell you what, if I was the head of a newspaper and you didn't do your job, you'd be held accountable. That's the way it is.
Got time for one final question.
So, Tom, I think you guys were -6 in rebounding at halftime. Ended up, I think you were +15 in the second half in rebounding. How did you make that happen? Which players allowed that to happen for you? I imagine some challenging went on.
No. We went in the halftime. We had a love fest. We all kind of gathered around. We hugged each other and said, listen, it's okay, guys, that we got out-rebounded by a smaller team. You know, it's okay, but if we could find a way to do a little better job, it would probably help us win. And that's what we did, to be honest with you.
Thank you very much, Coach. Again, the locker room's open for another 15 minutes.